Hello and happy version 2.4 of STX Cloud release to you. So in this video, we're going to try to make it as quick as possible, but also very informative. We are going to be reviewing the STX Cloud version 2.4 changes within the software. So if you want to follow along with your notes, please do. So the first thing we want to show you is in the navigation menu by clicking on these three lines on the left. Right below the STX University, we added our STX Cloud guides. So you can click on here and it will take you to a screen to view the guides for our STX Cloud software. And then if you want to click on it, it will take you to the document and show you all the tips. And then of course from here, I believe at the bottom of the documents, you can download the PDF version. So that is the first thing that we added. Okay, the next thing that we added is our classes. So in the setup services, under setup classes, you can put in classes that you offer, like maybe beginner's yoga. So what you'll do is you'll give it a name, duration, total number of attendees that you can have, and then the price per attendee. If you make it $0, it will not require a payment online. It'll just be free. But if you do put value in here, just please note that you do need an integrated STX payments account to do that online transaction, because it will require a payment up front online to register for the class. And then you can provide a different online name and then of course a description down below. To book this appointment, you'll simply go to your appointment book to book the class, you'll click book class. You'll select the time of day to book the class for, and then you'll select the type of class to book and the instructor who is booking it for, and then the total number of classes. So this could repeat like 6 classes every week for the next 6 weeks. So it'll book it every week, or you could do days, week, or month. And then the max number of attendees will by default be in here. You can make any notes related to that class. Click search. It's going to show you if that worker is available all those days. You'll go ahead and click save. And now the class is right on there. To see it for your online booking, you'll open up your online booking page. And if I go ahead and log in, you'll now see, it used to say book now, and then we also had a update password button. So now it will say book service or book class. And then if you click book class, you'll select, all classes or advanced yoga or yoga for beginners. So I can say, just show me all the classes and any worker, or I can specify a worker and click search. And then if I want to see more info, I can click that. It'll show me the class description. It tells me the time, the date, beginner's yoga. If I want to go forward a day or backward a day or back to my search, I can do that. And then I go ahead and click attend. And then since this has money associated with it, it would request that I put in my payment information to book this class. So pretty cool. So I'll go ahead. The other thing you can do is you can add an attendee right from the class list. So if somebody calls and says, hey, I'd really like to attend this class, you can go on and say, Caroline Martin is going to attend this class. And then once somebody has paid for the class, you won't be able to cancel it. But up until then, you can cancel the class. You can check in everyone. So if everyone's in attendance, you can just click check in all. If you need to remove somebody from this list, you can click this X. And then on the day of the class, when you need to check people out, first you'll want to check them in. That would be at their arrival for the class. And then at the end of the class, if they didn't pay online, then you need to check them out. You would click checkout and a new tab will open up with that checkout. And then from here, you could, add products as needed and then pay. So we're really hoping that most of the traffic does get booked online so that it'll soften your checkout process. But there are multiple ways to use the classes, and there's a full video on our associated with the release that explains classes further in detail. Okay, so the next feature we added is if I go to the appointment detail page and I click on a time and I search for a client, and then this was a big request we got from many salons, so I hope you all like it. So let's say she's going to come in for a haircut. And then if I add another service, it's not going to default to the first worker in the lineup. It's going to default to the same worker when I add it. Now, that being said, if I change this to, let's say, to Georgia, and Georgia's going to do, let's say, a down due, and then I add another service, that's going to assume Georgia's doing the third service. So it's whoever did the last service is who it's going to assume. The other feature we added really great to the appointment book is the waiting list counter. So you'll see here there's a number 2 in a red circle, kind of like a notification on your phone. So it tells you there's 2 people waiting on the waiting list. So if I click on here, it tells me who's waiting and what they're waiting for, and it notes that there's 2. Anything expired will not show up in the count. The other thing we added is a circle around the date that you're currently on. So if I go to the 30th, it'll show a circle around the 30th. So that's a really fun enhancement that one of our users made, and we're excited to add that. I can't really show this to you, but one of the other cool things is right now the appointment book will refresh anytime you make changes to the page, but sometimes that's not often enough. So we added an automated appointment refresh every 5 minutes so that even if you don't leave this page, it will auto refresh itself. So that's exciting. The other addition we had is under the checkout list under cash counting. So if I go to open a cash drawer or close a cash drawer, it'll now show me my total number of unpaid tickets and my unpaid ticket balance. So your goal as a business to best use our software is to close all of your open tickets and all your unpaid balances before you count your drawer for the day. If you're unable to do that, you can turn the ticket into an account balance, or it can carry over to the next shift, however that's going to work. But we do just want you to be mindful of the number of unpaid tickets out there and making sure we're staying ahead of those. So we thought that would be helpful. Alrighty, so the next feature is under the checkout page. So you might have noticed in your products that the products were just really thrown in there. They weren't really organized, and they also included all your professional products. So like your hair color and stuff, even though you only use it as back bar, was appearing in the checkout. So we thought it would be a great idea, as well as many of our users reported this request. So now only retail products, non-professionally checked products, will appear in here. And then we also updated it to be more like the services tab, where you select the product group, the product line that you would like to see. So rather than having 200 products to go through, and then the other advancement we made is everything's alphabetical. So now you're seeing it by product line without products or that are professional, and also alphabetically. So this is a really cool upgrade to this feature. The other thing we were able to do is, I'm going to show you kind of a 3-part thing. So if, let's say, I buy 3 of this Moroccan oil light and I apply a promotion to it, so now your ticket's going to look a little different. So there's a few things happening here. So it is showing the name of the workers, or their initials, to the left of the product that they purchased or that they got credit for selling. And then it's also showing the discount right below it. So before, how this would work is if the product was $24 and the promotion was, let's say, around $10, this would show up as $14 or $13.40 or whatever it would be. So what we've done is we've itemized promotions, we've itemized rewards, so now they're going to show up separately, so you can really see that math being done, and you can provide that same information to your client on the receipt. And then also, before you check out, if, let's say, Maria didn't sell this, Georgia did, you can click on here and you can give credit to somebody else, maybe it was Rebecca, and you just update the ticket. It can be on a specific product. You would have had to I apologize, it reset the promotion, but you would want to make sure you do that too. So we think this is a great addition to the software, being able to see who got credit for what, being able to give different workers credit for selling different products. The same will happen with services. So if I add, let's say, a men's haircut here and click add, again, that initial is going to show up. So anything that isn't associated with a worker isn't going to have those initials, but we thought that was a really fun addition. The other thing we did is we added the ability to go in here. Okay, so here is a gift certificate, and let's say it's $100, and I add it to the ticket. And I go to my payments, and let's say I pay for all this. Now, what's really cool about this is prior to this version, you could not refund a gift certificate. So if I click issue refund, I can actually issue a refund for this gift certificate. Now let's say she also bought these 3 Moroccan oils. Now I can say, not only do I need to refund one of them, but I'm also going to restock it because she didn't use it. She didn't even leave the salon with it. She changed her mind before she walked out the door. These things, they happen. And you can now click this restock button, and what that will do is it will add it back to your on-hand number so that it knows it's going back on your shelf. This will not by default be checked. You will have to check it. And then for the gift certificate, you can refund it as long as it hasn't been used. So once a gift certificate has been used, unfortunately, no, you cannot refund it. You could find other ways with cash paid in or cash paid out. Contact our support team. They can get creative with you on eliminating that gift certificate or paying it out. Maybe do a miscellaneous payment or ticket. So you'll go ahead and update that, and then we would go under the total refund amount of $117.96 and select the worker who completed this. Click save, and now you've seen where I can successfully refund a gift. Okay. So the next thing I want to show you, and this goes out, a big shout out to a lot of our former desktop users that requested this feature. We now have an inventory physical checklist. The vision for this checklist was that you would open it up on a tablet and walk around your salon the same way back in the 90s you used to walk around with a clipboard. And you can go by product line or by supplier or whether retail only or professional only or both. So if you wanted to check your color stock one day, you could say like, oh, okay, I need to do my product line TG and specifically for this ABC beauty supplier and only by professional, and click generate, and it will show you those items below. I'm going to do all just so you can see, I guess that too. And how this works is it has a count where you enter a number. So let's say I have one of these. Now it's telling me my on hand is 0, which means I shouldn't have any of them. Make this a little bigger here for you. Okay, so my count is 1, my on hand is 0, and I need a minimum of 120. So if I update this, it will update the on hand number once I click save. And I can just keep, I'm not going to hit save till I'm done going around the salon. So I'm going around the salon and I'm finding these, and maybe I'm not going to track these yet. That's a different order I want to place. And I also have one of these and I have one of these, so that's the same, that's great. But I actually have 0 of this, and once I'm done filling in these counts, so I'm just counting how many of this product I have, I go ahead and click save. Anything I left blank is going to stay as it was. It's not going to update the on hand. Anything where count was entered will update the on hand. And then if you're curious what the differences were between what you entered and what showed as the original on hand, you can go to your adjustment report and click view, and it'll show you where the differences were and how much you're off by. So this shows me I have a loss of $5.90 is my grand total. So I can see that, yeah, we're a little off, but nothing alarming. So that's a pretty fun new feature. Okay, the other thing we added is if I go to purchase orders, I can now select a purchase order type. So once I select my supplier, I have an option to order only professional products or only retail products or retail and professional products. Another inventory related enhancement is if I go to setup, inventory, setup products, and click on my Yucca shampoo, I can add multiple SKUs. So fun fact, anytime that a product company changes their packaging or their formula, they likely change their SKU. Sometimes they don't, but when they do, it makes it harder to keep track of. You may have two of the same product, but it actually has a different barcode. So if you find that, you can add multiple barcodes. The other thing we added is a stock number. So oftentimes, because of these multiple SKUs, the supplier will have a stock number so that it's always referred to as the same number. And this stock number will now appear on your purchase order right next to the SKU. Okay, the other enhancement we made is if I go to set up appointments and emails, online booking, or no, sorry, reminders, there's now a field here. So before, what it would do is if you clicked this send test email button, it would send a test email to whatever the main email was under the setup company. Well, that wasn't super obvious, so we wanted to make this a little more obvious for you all. So if I go in here, I can type in an email address and click send test email. So this will allow you to determine where this test is going to go to. And we did this for the reminders and the notifications. So it's just a nice little upgrade, we thought. Another thing, speaking of emailing regarding appointments. So if I look up a client, let's say Caroline, and I go to her appointments. So we get this request quite a bit. If I want to send her an email of her future appointments, as long as she has an email on her client card, this button will appear. And I can just click send, and an email will be sent with a list of all her future appointments. So that's a really great enhancement to the software. Another feedback we got was we had three options for gender. We had female and male and unspecified. And some of our users asked us to change unspecified to be non-binary. So what you will find is on your online booking as well as your client card, this setting has been changed to non-binary. So that is a upgrade that we also implemented. Another feature that many of our clients requested was they wanted a deposit report. And just for full disclosure, everyone deposits something differently. So what we did, instead of creating a deposit report, we added a feature to the payment list report. And what that is you can select multiple payment types. So for example, if when I do a deposit, I use cash, and it's also anything Clover and anything that's a check, and that's it. So maybe when I go to the bank, actually let's just do cash and check. Just my cash and check transactions, doesn't matter which cash drawer or shift. We can run a date range and click generate, and then it will give me, I guess I only do cash transactions. Let me see, just to show you how this works. Okay, so down at the bottom, it'll show me how much I did in Clover, gift redeem, prepaid package, account charge, and cash, and Clover payment again. So if you have these numbers down here, it'll give you a grand total. Because you can select what you're depositing, it will only reflect that on this report. So in this instance, I did have to click all of them just to get some data populated. But I think you'll really like this because whatever payment types you accept that are also your deposits, that's what's going to show up down here at the bottom, as well as each individual item, so you know what your total should be. Another feature we added is in reports. It's under the product sales by rank report. It's under sales reports, product sales by rank. And if I run this report, let's say for the month, and click generate, this is a great report. It tells you which of your products move the most, which move the least. It breaks down. There's some more information in our report guide on exactly how it breaks down these sales. But what's great information here is it tells you, okay, the Gentle shampoo, you sold one. The net revenue was $15, so it's 100% ROI. So we added the cost of goods, the net revenue, and ROI percent here. It will sort by the ROI percent. Now, if you'd rather it sorted by net revenue, you can update this sort and click net revenue, and now it will change how this is listed. Okay? Alrighty, so that's exciting. And another enhancement we made is on the on-hand product report. So go reports, inventory on hand, and now we added a type. So if you want to see your on hand by professional and retail, or professional only, or retail only, how this would be used typically in a salon environment is professional only would be your back bar, your big liters of shampoo, your color, any tools, and then your retail only would be what's on your shelves available for sale. And then the other enhancement we made is to the team-based pay report. So if I go under business analysis and then TBP, now we did this based on some user requests. If I click generate, so we've added a few items to this report. The items we added is the number of rebooked appointments. So it will still show you that percentage, but it's going to give you a number as well. We also added a number of good ticket readings. We received that request. We also added total number of tickets to this report. It was located on other reports, but we heard that you wanted it added here. And then the average cost per client, or sorry, average product per client is down here. So those were just a handful of items that we received requests from strategies and team-based pay team like salons that wanted to see those numbers. Okay, there are 3 new reports. One of them is, so there's an actual whole new report range. Keep in mind, you do have to set up permissions to allow yourself to see these. So before you call and say that's not in there, please double check your permissions that are in your setup. Contact your manager or your owner if you aren't already the manager or the owner, and they can help you out with that. Okay, so the worker service report, how this works is I select a worker and click generate, and it's going to show me all the services they offer, the price for that service, any service fees, guest charges, durations, whether or not the available checkbox is checked, any buffer time, if it's a custom setup that we have, and if that's available online. So once you've set up your services for your workers and enabled them, this may be a great way for you to make sure that everything's accounted for. You could print this off or just show it to your workers and make sure that everything's in there. And it's just a good way to double check all the settings in the software. Another report we added was the worker schedule report. So if I want to see what my workers are scheduled to work the next 2 weeks, and I click generate, it will show me, let me do another week out. Okay, so this is the next 2 weeks. It's going to show me like Joanna and Shannon and everyone else and what they're scheduled to work. And if the worker has a day off or custom hours, it'll show here under italics. And if the company has a day off, it'll show here also under italics, but say company day off. If it's just custom hours, it'll show that. And then you can also, when you take the time off, you can put in the notes of why the time is scheduled off, and that will appear here. So if you need to print your employee calendars, now this will do all the employees, but if maybe it's a specific worker like Joanna and you want to show her hours for the next month, you could generate that and it will tell her every day that she's working, or if she doesn't have any hours scheduled. Okay. Second to last thing we added is a time clock report. So this is the time clock report, and I'm gonna go back almost a week and click generate. So again, this will list each of your workers if you do it by company, or you can do a specific worker and click generate. So here's an example. Maria, these are her clock in times and her clock out times. And this is what she was scheduled to work. And then it gives me her total hours over here to the right and the total hours down here at the bottom. So again, this was a report people really, really wanted to see. And of course, we made it happen. So we hope you really enjoy that. And then another request we got, being a cloud software, it is very difficult to make a report list all the employees available for print, but we are working on reformatting so that that is a possibility. But the number one report we get that request for is the process compensation report. So if I click process compensation, a new feature that's been added is that if I click generate, you know what? This is a, I apologize. Thank you for being with us this long. If I go to set up permissions, let me just double check these permissions. And I'm just going to select all because it's not allowing me to print detail. Okay. So let's just make sure it's not a permission. Process compensation. We'll do new dates. And we click generate. Oh, sorry. I have to click archive. Thank you all for being so patient. Okay. So this is a new feature. So if I click print summary, it's just going to print this report. If I click print detail, it's going to print the payroll details for every worker that was checked. So I can see Jennifer Smith and Jessica Pope and April and Candace Bentley, and it will show me all the workers and their details all in one page. So if you have to print these out and hand them out, this is a great way to see them. So we're really excited to get this over to you. This wasn't a simple task. We are looking to do this with more reports. If there's specific reports you want to see multiple workers print out for, please let us know. We'll do our best to make that happen for you. And the other thing we did on every single report inside the entire software, let me find an example for you. Payment detail report. Okay, so anytime there's a client name or a ticket number on every single report within our software, it has now been hyperlinked. So you can simply click on this ticket number or click on this client name and it will take you there. Before it was just read only, so we thought that was a really fun way to mix up the reports and make them simple to use and also get to other areas of the software related to that report. And last but not least, we added about 10 new marketing templates that you got dropped in your email marketing. You can use them, not use them. Here's an example of one of them. So if you set up the automated campaigns for, anytime somebody refers you, you could send out something like this. So this is just one of them. We have one for service details and cancellation follow-ups and product recent details. Of course, this is just our way of saying, hey, here's a good way to get you started. But of course, these can be fully customized by you and your team to go with your look and feel. But we wanted to get the process started for you. So that's an exciting new addition. So thank you all so much for listening and joining me to go over the 2.4 features. We hope you like these additions. And of course, if there's anything you want to see in our software, please let our STX support team know. They do submit your ideas and they are all fantastic and we love receiving them, and it makes our software better and more user-friendly for you, and everyone wins. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great day. Take care. Enjoy. Bye.